Hello everybody, this is the quick video about blending. We're just going to use some words here from phase 2. You may find that you'll be on phase 2 or your children will be on phase 2, but blending is very important. Even if your child knows all the sounds in phase 2 and they're well underway to learning sounds in phase 3, if they're not able to blend those sounds, then there is a skill that they've missed. So we don't want to hold children back by keeping them on phase 2. We do want them to continue learning new sounds all the time, but usually that skill of blending is taught and learned in phase 2. So what is blending? Well, blending is to put those sounds together to form a word. We start with CV words, we call CV words, which are consonant vowel words. Those words are, for example, I, n, in, at, o, n, on, up, and so forth. So a consonant and a vowel to make a very short word. Then we have consonant, vowel, consonant words, which are CVC words. These words can include, for example, s, at, sat, p, I, n, pin, k, at, cat, m, a, n, man. And once children are able to blend these words and they can read consonant, vowel, consonant words very easily, we will introduce sentences and captions, very, very simple sentences and captions that often use repetitive words, such as the cat is on the mat, the dog is on the mat, and silly phrases, the mat is on the dog, or the bat is on the cat, for example. So we will play with words, but always choosing our words carefully. So how do we teach blending? Well, this is not even a crash course. This is just a few minutes, this video, but I thought it might be useful just to give you some ideas at home. I've got a pocket chart in my classroom, and with our, where have they gone? Over here. With our graphemes here, I'd put them in the charts, and together with the children collectively, we will build the words. So I would put, for example, a s, a, n together, sun, and model how we are building the word sun. Phonics is not about writing, but I would have elements of writing in my phonics lessons, so then I would show the children, model how to write the letter S, the letter U, the letter N, and then how to write the word sun. We'd do it together. Eventually I'll move on to showing them words or sounds quickly, maybe a 2-second flash, and then they're gone. What was it? Can you write it down? Can you work together, help each other? What sound did Mr Addley have? Now it's gone, to make it a bit of a challenge, a bit of a game. Things you could also do, we can, you could take a piece of paper and write the word. Let's write k, a, t. There we go. Very simple. CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant word, cat. Let's cut it out. Okay, so I've got my 3 letters here. Cat. Can we put them back together again? Okay, especially can you put those 3 letters, 3 graphemes back together to make the word cat? What comes first? What comes first? What comes next? And what comes at the end? There we are. Cat. K, at.
Cat.
Cat. So it just helps them to show how a word can be segmented. You can break it down by literally physically cutting it to pieces and then pulling out the initial sound, looking at the initial sound, say the initial sound. You can pull out the middle sound, and you can do the same with the final sound, and you can put it back together again and blend the sounds back together to make the word. That's what we call blending and segmenting. We blend to read and we segment basically to write. So we segment because we hear the whole word and we need to break it up to identify what those individual sounds are within the word, and that would help us to write the word. So cutting up words, putting them back together again as a kind of jigsaw activity is something we can do. Put them on a pocket chart is what I would do at school. You could also, if you get some sounds, you could lay them out on the ground as kind of tiles. You could get your child to walk on them, and each time they stand on them, they say the sound. So they have to take 3 steps for a CV word, as they walk across sun. What else have we done? We've done this with chalk outside on the ground, haven't we? We've used chalk on the ground to write the sounds. I've called them. Sebastian has to write them down. I can show them. He has to write them down. You can hide them. The child has to go and get them and bring them back, write them down. All the time saying the sound so they get used to the sound. We've also got our fingers, which we can use to segment words rather. It's a resource that we have with us all the time. So, for example, another word, let's have pin, for example. I would say pin, and I would tell the children, pin has got 3 sounds. So I'm giving them some clues, I'm scaffolding them, the children. It's got 3 sounds. You're gonna need 3 fingers. So I get 3 fingers together, and I'm looking at them, and I'm standing this way so that their hand is the same as mine. So show me 3 fingers. That's it, do it in this hand. 1, 2, 3, that's it, hold your fingers up in the air. Turn your hand around so you're looking at them. Very good, very good. Now watch. Remember, my turn, your turn. P, Point. Good, hold it a bit higher. I don't know if the camera can see it. Let's try that one again. Good, and next I'm going to blend them together. Pin.
Pin.
Good, and then I can question Sebastian. What was that middle sound, Sebastian? If I touch his middle finger, that will help him. What was that middle sound? I. Good. What was that final sound? Good. And what was that first sound, initial sound? Pin. And then I might ask him to write down the word pin. Repeat this with CV words and CCVC words, which are phase 4, and throughout phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. The skill is the same. The words get bigger, but the blending and segmenting is the same. Once we can master blending and segmenting with phase 2, with those simple consonant, vowel, consonant words, in an array of contexts, in a variety of contexts, inside, outside, drawing, cutting, building with tiles, chalk, all different means, then when the child learns phase 3 sounds, when the child learns phase 5 sounds, it's easy, and their reading will just excel rapidly. It really will. So really focus on this blending and segmenting skills in phase 2, and it really will pay off later on throughout phase 3 and phase 5. Okay, so you might be wondering why I haven't been speaking much about phase 4. Phase 4 is a consolidation phase. We are using words from phase 3 and expanding them. Words, for example, like rain, for example, which is r, a, n. There are 3 sounds in rain. We've got r and a, which is the vowel digraph, n, rain. We could add a consonant to the beginning of that word. We could add the letter T, the T. What word would rain make if we added a T at the beginning?
Train.
Train. T-r-a-n, train. So we're turning a CVC word into a CCVC word. You can also do the same at the end of some words. We can add a consonant to the end. So words, simple words like 10, for example, t-e-n, 10, consonant, vowel, consonant word. We could add a letter T to the end, a consonant to the end. And then we've got t-e-n,
tent.
Then we've got tent. Okay, so very easy. But that's phase 4. It's really building on what we already know, making our words bigger, reading sentences and captions. One other thing you can try is... I've got this board which just arrived today. I'm going to be using it in class when I'm sitting at tables working with selected children. They're easy to get online, or you could just use paper, pen, chalk on the ground, anything really. Is to do zigzagging words. So, for example, I'm going to write something. Let's write... Okay, that's my first sound, second, third. And something like this, you can model first of all, mat. And you can get your child to actually touch the graphemes as they sound the phoneme, follow the arrow, and then increase the speed in which they do it. At, mat. Sebastian, you have a turn.
Mat.
Follow at, mat. Can you follow?
At, mat.
Okay, and then we can increase this. So, okay, let's think of a quite phase 3 word. We could have okay, so here it's the same, consonant vowel, but we've got 2 digraphs here. We've got a qu, we've got an e, and we've got an qu, e, n, queen, qu, e, n, queen, qu, e, n, queen, queen. And finally, let's break up let's segment an even more challenging word. Let's try a really hard word. This is a compound word where we've got 2 words put together, and it's also a number word. So we've got 6 words here. Let's start from here. So I haven't said this word yet. So I wonder, Sebastian, if you could come around this side so you can see it clearly. Could you touch each grapheme, say the phoneme, and when you get to the end, try and read the word.
Okay.
Shall I bring it a little bit closer?
Yeah.
As long as we can all still see it. Okay, off you go.
X, T, E, N, 16.
16, well done, excellent. 16. So this is basically the same as using the fingers, but it's another way, because using the fingers you're just concentrating on the phonemes only. This, you've got the phonemes and the graphemes. So you could say it's 2 things to learn, but also it's an extra little bit of support because they can see the sounds that they're saying. So I quite like this way. If you did this on paper, you can also cut it up. So some of the ideas I've given you, you can put the ideas together. So at great, do that on paper, follow the zigzag, and then cut them out and put them back together again, and then make the word. So lots of ideas. What's really important is that your child doesn't spend too long doing them, because really these ideas, it's like 5-7 minutes is enough per day, maybe 10 minutes, and then do some more the next day with some different words, different strategy, that kind of thing. Try to use the same words, not all the time, but bring them back after a few days so they become familiar, because some children just learn words by sight. They will learn the words by the way they look. So it's important to give them the opportunity, in case your child is good at learning by rote, as we say, then bear that in mind. If there's anything else I can think of, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Just trying to do a quick video, really. Yeah, I think that's all for now. So happy reading. Keep up the phonics. Keep practicing the sounds, and speak soon. Bye.
See you next time.